This is CBS.
You know, sometimes it seems like prices just keep going up. But at Glick Twins, you can be reassured that we're going to make a real effort to keep prices down. For the best value in pistols, take a look at Browning's Buckmark 22, now only $180. Or the Browning Model 380 Automatic, only $381. And for hunting that requires a no-frills approach, Browning A-Bolt Hunter hits the mark at only $353. The real effort to keep prices down is at Glick Twins, Business 83 and Farm.
Palm City's having a 5-day floor model clearance. We must move all 89s before the 90s get here in February. Save 20 to 62% with no reasonable offer refused. Televisions will start at $169, VCRs $188, washer dryer pair $490, refrigerators $366 with giant screens at liquidation prices. Buy with no money down, no payments till April. Then use Palm City's Appliance Express. Where you buy today, you get it tomorrow, or it's free. Don't miss Palm City's floor model clearance at all Palm City superstores.
If you operate heavy equipment or on power lines, keep your priorities straight. Safety first, then the job. Careless contact with power lines can cost you more than your job.
You're watching KGBT TV. Now, live from Channel 4, this is the Valley Report with Robert Ramirez. The Valley's most up-to-date weather forecast with meteorologist Jim Phillips. And the latest sports highlights with Ed Suarez.
Valley cities also turn into ghost towns as America shuts down for the Super Bowl. 70 modern-day cowboys hit the trail for a long ride to Houston, and a Westlaco family is looking for help in replacing their home and all that was lost in it in a fire. Well, good evening, everyone. Super Sunday is over for most of the country, although the 49ers and their fans are still celebrating. America shuts down to watch the game, and so does the Valley, as we hear from Patricia Guillermo.
Empty streets and sidewalks cleared as though there might be a shootout ready to happen. Where did all the people go? Well, we looked high and low and found them watching a modern-day duel on television. Super Bowl parties were in abundance, and at the Chavez home, divided interest kept the group cheering. Though Dallas or Houston haven't made it to the Super Bowl recently, the Chavezes don't mind. The party goes on.
We've had it annually for several years, and we always enjoy it when the same crazy group comes over.
In order to get an expert's opinion on the outcome of the game, we asked 8-year-old Arturo Moreno who is going to win and why.
49ers because they have a better receiver and a quarterback.
There were groups of people gathered at local clubs as well. Even the mall had football fans staying close to the television sets.
And we ended up here. We heard the game was on, so we came over to see.
Of course, not everybody was glued to the game, but you couldn't tell that by this town. There are about as many people here as there are television sets, and judging by those numbers, it looks like watching the Super Bowl was the thing to do. Patricia Guillermo, Channel 4 News, Harlingen.
Some modern-day cowboys took a pass on watching that football game and hit the trail instead. This is one of a group of 12 different trail rides heading for the Houston Livestock Show. This group will spend 2 weeks riding 386 miles from Hidalgo to Houston. The trail boss, Larry Ramirez, says there are people from Corpus Christi and Falfurrias riding along with Valley people. He says there are about 70 in today's group and that they'll stay with the trail ride until their money runs out or they have to get out of the saddle and back to work. In McAllen, a 2-day woodcarver show wrapped up this afternoon. All kinds of work on display, including wood sculptures of little people, an Indian head. One extraordinary work was the carving of a bald eagle.
I can't really give you a procedure. It's just a matter of trying to make it look like an eagle.
And Gladys did a good job with that. She says you have to have patience because it took 1.5 years to carve that eagle. There was a good crowd for the last day of the 27th annual Wildcat Show down in Brownsville. The show attracts a diverse crowd because of the range of goods which are for sale or trade. You can find silver coins, all types of guns, swords, and knives, and many of the people were looking for a bargain.
Originality, the craftsmanship, the one-of-a-kind item. I'm a freak for turquoise. I love turquoise. Still got to buy my little sweetie here something.
Over 2,000 people attended the 3-day show there in Brownsville. Well, they chose a new Miss Weslaco last night. 40 young women, ages 17 and 18, entered the pageant held at Mary Hogue Junior High. The lovely and talented Stacy Hindler from Channel 4 was one of the MCs, along with Sandra Castellanos. After the field was narrowed to 10 finalists, Hema Sines chosen Miss Weslaco for 1990. And they held a super event this weekend in McAllen with almost 200 high schoolers from Victoria South taking part in the academic decathlon. Highlight of the competition, yesterday afternoon's super quiz. Teams get on the gym floor and are questioned in a variety of areas while their fans cheer them on.
Where everybody is seeing kids being asked questions and responding to those questions. So it isn't the student that's out there by himself. There's students that are behind students in the answering.
And they're doing well?
Certainly they're doing well. They're enjoying it, and it's just as vigorous and intense as any athletic competition event would be.
The awards banquet was held last night, and the overall winner in the decathlon was a team from Harlingen for the 5th year in a row. Also on the education beat, it appears a new state law banning driver's licenses for dropouts isn't keeping kids in school. Supporters of the law said it could reduce the dropout rate by 30%, but that has not happened. The Department of Public Safety said there's no evidence that students are staying in school just to obtain a driver's license. And in the Austin school system, with over 63,000 students, they said only about 40 had stayed in school to get a license. Chief sponsor of the bill said, however, it will take a few more years to find out if that bill really works. Well, if you're a person who feels department store shopping isn't what it used to be, you're not alone. When we come back, an explanation for why the fun has gone out of shopping at some stores and how others are making a buck on those changes.
There's an enemy in your car's engine. Friction. Without the right motor oil, friction can damage your engine and send it to an early grave. You need the special quality of Pennzoil motor oil. Pennzoil exceeds the API's highest standards for maximum protection against friction. Conquer the enemy friction with the world-class protection of Pennzoil.
Roberts Chevrolet in Edinburgh is starting the new year with great deals on the all-new import Heritage Geos. You can have this exciting new Geo Storm for only $99.99, and look at the economical fun Geo Metro for only $69.99 or $137 a month. And for the sport buff, Roberts has this rugged Geo Tracker, unbelievably priced at only $10,999. Come see the all-new Geo import Heritage vehicles from the #1 customer satisfaction Chevy dealer, Roberts Chevrolet in Edinburgh.
Watch this screen and try to guess where we are. I was born in the Valley and always dreamed of moving to a resort someday. So every year on vacation, my wife and I checked out every major resort in the nation. And guess what? We found that one of the top-rated resorts in America is our own Rio Grande Valley. Did you guess it? You're looking at our new home, Alamo Country Club. We found everything you see here, and most important, 24-hour security. Be happy. Come live at Alamo Country Club.
With 10 seconds to go, it's all tied up. Send in the secret weapon. Can it be? Yes, it is! The legendary Wild Willie Went! Wow, Willie Went. My brother, the greatest man to ever play the game. With Wild Willie, will they win the case of Miller Lite and go to the Super Bowl? Just give me the ball.
Vice President Dan Quayle says the issue of the Panama invasion is over and it's time now to focus on Panama's future. And he is visiting Panama to do that by discussing details of President Bush's $1 billion economic aid package. Quayle said the invasion hasn't soured U.S.-Latin American relations, and he also said U.S. troops will be out of Panama in the next few weeks. Federal drug agents made a record land seizure in Pennsylvania this week. The government said the 2,700-acre parcel of land was purchased with drug profits from the sale of 10 tons of cocaine illegally imported in the early 80s. The man who bought and forfeited the land is serving a 10-year drug-related prison sentence. In other local news, the Super Bowl was far from the minds of a Weslaco family. The 5 people in the Eliseo Santana family lost their home and belongings in a fire this week. Well, they've moved into a small home that their neighbors have made available to them. Yesterday, the family was picking up a few clothes to replace those lost in the fire. The Santana family is getting help from a group called People Helping People, which acts as a relief agency of last resort.
We're just barely scratching the surface. We're like a thimble in the ocean is really what it is. There needs to be a number of other groups like us, but we're doing all that we can with our resources.
Burford's group helped several families either build a new home or make livable the one they were already in. They helped one family move out of a cardboard box house.
Finally, these people have a place, a roof over their heads. They are not living in a box anymore. And the children are not having to sleep on mattresses on the dirt floor. Now they can sleep in a real house with a real roof over their head. That's great satisfaction.
And People Helping People's next project is to make a home rise from the ashes of the Santana house in Weslaco, and they'd appreciate any help you're able to offer. Not enough people helping shoppers is the complaint of many department store customers. Erin Moriarty reports on how smaller stores are taking advantage of the lack of service in the bigger ones.
I'm 80 years old, so I know what it was like years ago. You would go in and you would get the same feeling of personal attention, interest, of somebody giving you what you really wanted. There was a better relationship, I think, between the people who worked in the stores and the people who came to buy.
That was then. This is now.
The $42 ones are on top. That's all I have.
Got it.
20 years ago, 3 out of 4 consumers said they enjoyed shopping. Today, only 1 out of 4 says that they enjoy it. Something's wrong.
What's wrong with many department stores, say analysts, is service. There's not enough of it.
The way they are today is they're so focused on sales and low price to attract customers, and they moved away from service. And a lot of customers are reacting to that.
I shop in more smaller stores that have more service connected with them because the large stores do not have enough help.
I try to find things in small specialty stores. Why? Because they have unique things that I can't find elsewhere.
The department store loss is often the gain of smaller, more focused specialty stores. And it's not just market share these chains have captured. Some of the new young clothing designers, like Gordon Henderson, have begun to look more towards specialty stores to sell their designs.
You go into a department store nowadays, you're always inundated with the sales, that are going on, sales signs, which I think tends to make people wait until that, is happening before they'll buy something.
You still see the biggest names in department stores, but even some of them have opened shops of their own.
In point of fact, department stores get the publicity, department stores get the traffic. To a very great degree, we're still immensely dependent on the department stores to sell the product that we manufacture.
But for how long? In Boston, a new shopping mall did something that used to be unthinkable. It opened last August without a major department store as an anchor, relying instead on several top-of-the-line specialty stores. In fact, the number of big department stores left to anchor shopping malls is dwindling, as giants like B. Altman's, Gimbel, have closed their doors.
Every day I do business, I have to buy a scorecard to find out who owns who are the players in the game.
Still, the head of Bloomingdale's insists the department store is no dinosaur.
The reports of our death are greatly exaggerated.
Bloomingdale's has successfully taken on the competition by creating specialty stores within its own walls. Others, like the Seattle-based Nordstrom's, have put a renewed emphasis on service.
I think the department stores that survive and grow will be those that have a very strong point of view of what their character is, what they're trying to be, whom their consumer is.
And the result will be a better focused, better run, better merchandised store, as department stores will be in the 90s.
Well, a cool front blew into town, and some places finally got a little rain. Jim Phillips with the forecast is next.
It looked like another boring month. He was going to rearrange his lock drawer. She thought they'd fix the cat. Then they discovered Southwest Airlines fun fairs. Soon they were jetting away from just $19 to all sorts of exciting cities, seeing things their mothers had warned them about, eating food they couldn't pronounce, laughing out loud for no apparent reason. Southwest Airlines fun fairs from just $19. This is not a joke. You cannot lie on TV.
And we'll have fun flying Southwest on a fun fair today.
Put wings on your financial growth and come soar with us.
Friends, buying a new or used vehicle shouldn't be a hassle. Nobody wants to go into a dealership and have a salesperson pressure them into buying. Here at Yoder Ford in Edinburgh, we respect you because we believe that the customer must always come first. We guarantee that the price you get will be fair. We want to invite you to our grand opening January 29th through February the 3rd. We'll get you into a new car or truck with no money down. On Saturday, we'll have live music, fajitas, and cokes. Drive that extra mile. We'll make it worth your while at Yoder Ford.
Has Harry hooked up with a sexy sorceress?
Everybody's kinky, except you.
Are you really a witch? Okay.
Is the love charm working? Or can Harry break the spell?
What's going on in here?
Hoodoo and voodoo behind closed doors. It's spirited fun on the next Night Court.
Night Court tonight at 10:30. The most up-to-date weather forecast with over 35 years' experience and a staff meteorologist.
Well, a cool front moved through about 6 or 7 o'clock today and brought in some cooler air. Right now, the winds are northwest at about 16 miles per hour. The humidity is up there at 93% with a few scattered rain showers in and out through the area. And we had rainfall amounts ranging from 0 in some places up to about 0.25 of an inch. And the barometer is rising already as high pressure is filtering in at 30.06 inches. Today's high was 82 degrees, a very pleasant day, but at the present time, we're at 54. Very cool air is beginning to filter in. We're expecting overnight lows in the upper 40s to mid-50s in some places. The island is at 57 degrees, 55 in Brownsville, 53 up in Raymondville, 57 in McAllen, and Rio Grande City is at 53 degrees. Across the state of Texas, you can see the cold front lying just to the south through Mexico, into the Gulf of Mexico, and up into Louisiana. Temperatures are rather cool, and cloudy skies prevail up through the northeast and east central, and also down to the southeast part of the state. It's 53 in Corpus Christi, Laredo, and in Houston, 46 in Dallas, and 28 already with clear skies up in Amarillo. Across the United States, you can see a lot of cloud cover associated with a low-pressure system over Louisiana and northeastern Texas. The cool front lies right to the south of the valley into Mexico, and we're expecting partly cloudy skies tomorrow. You can see the skies are beginning to clear up a little bit out through Mexico into the west parts of Texas. Here's the subtropical jet tonight lying right across Mexico into the valley, and that's